What's up, guys? It's the TheRetroRater back at it again with another beautiful tier list video. This time, I am going through the entire Half-Life franchise. Yes, I've played Hunt Down the Freeman. So yeah, I've seen it all, and I'm so excited for Half-Life 3, which is definitely coming out, guys. You have to trust me on this. It's coming out. And so in preparation, I played through the entire franchise over the past month or so. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Frickin' Half-Life 1. Half-Life 1. I'm gonna have to give this an A tier. And that might be a little bit sacrilegious right off the bat. But the reason I can't give it an S tier is because, well, I guess actually a lot of people agree with the fact that the Zen levels aren't amazing. I think the second half of the game isn't as good as the first half because the like when you start out the game on this tram and you're like looking around at the Black Mesa facility and you get to meet all the scientists and they're all doing their jobs, and there's like this intercom voice that's like, welcome, get that. I don't know, just so much vibe, potentially the most ambiance and aura and vibe and like set dressing of any game that had ever come out at that point. Like, just so much going on. The first few levels are just perfectly designed, like the inner looping, linear level design with like perfect pacing. You get to like play with the really silly scientists that are like, "Oh boy, it's Gordon," and then you press E to like get them to follow you, and then they instantly like go like, "I can't follow you anymore." But just so much charm, and the level design is amazing. And I was just bitching that the second half of the game isn't as good as the first half, but even the second half is super fire. Especially like surface tension, um, where you have to start fighting soldiers, and then you finally make it out of the facility, and you're like in the New Mexico desert, um, just fighting against helicopters and all sorts of monsters, zombies, and it's intense. Uh, Probably like the biggest set pieces of any first person shooter when the game came out. And like replaying recently, I really enjoyed it. I had like a really great time. I think though, there are like a lot of parts where there's just so much shit going on, like so many explosions, so many enemies firing at you. It's almost too much. Like, it's kind of silly for me to say like the game is too difficult. And like obviously you're not supposed to feel super powerful, at least like this early on in the franchise. You're supposed to be like just some scientists trying to make it out alive. And it's not until like the second game when Gordon Freeman becomes more of a power fantasy. Um, but still, I think when I was trying to get through the second half of the game, there was just explosion after explosion, and the uh, the fall damage is so intense that like if you try to skirt out of like a situation, you're instantly down like 20 points, and um, it's just a lot. And I wasn't always having like I was like a little bit frustrated at certain parts. I would say the Zen levels aren't that bad. Like in this most recent playthrough, I was getting through them. Like the platforming is silly, and the again that fall damage is just so rough. The physics are kind of like funky, but like I wasn't having a bad time, and I think the vibes and just like the silliness of it made Zen like not so bad for me recently. I do think the final boss is terrible. It's just so bad. Like it's like this giant baby that shoots portals at you, and you have to like jump around, and there's these like trampoline alien things on the floor that just never felt quite right to me. Like you would have to hit the space bar in like an exact way to get like this perfect jump to like reach things. Just didn't feel amazing. But I would say everything else, this game is perfect, and I just had so much fun playing through it. Couldn't recommend it enough. I know everybody's like, don't even play this, play Black Mesa. But I would say it's worth playing Half-Life 1 just for like the vibes of it. It's just so funny. And then now we got Blue Shift. Uh, I played Blue Shift after Opposing Force, so I had like pretty unrealistic expectations. I guess not to spoil my thoughts on Opposing Force, but I think Blue Shift is actually pretty mid. Uh, like I don't know, kind of like a low C situation. It's harmless. Like there's nothing specifically bad about like playing as Barney Calhoun from Half-Life 2. Um, I don't know, like you just play as a security guard, and the intro is kind of fun where you like shoot in like the shooting gallery and shit, and you're like Basically, you're like starting your shift as a security guard at Black Mesa, and it starts pretty good. Like there's funny dialogue and shit. But then it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of falls flat for me for several reasons, including like there's no new weapons. In fact, there's like less weapons than the main game, so there's like less to choose from. The level design it has like a really steep drop off from the first game, in even opposing force, as we're about to see. I don't know, it's not bad. Like I didn't have a bad time playing it, but I also like was just kind of mindless. Like the level design it was like pretty obtuse. There aren't any interesting enemies. Like there's like this Dr. Rosenberg guy that you meet up with halfway through, and you have to sit there and like listen to him talk about his teleporter technology, and that was just rough. Like I don't know, I was just sitting there so bored. Like he's just such a non-character. Um, and there's like almost no reason why uh, uh, Barney was like a non-speaking character. I remember there's a part with Dr. Rosenberg where like he like acts as though you are speaking to him, which was weird. It's just all around like nothing worth playing. There was like a Zen part at like near the end that I thought was like sort of fun. Like it was like the best level, but nothing crazy and like nothing super memorable or like to I don't know. I've said that like 5 times. That's my bad. Anyways, on to opposing force. Dude, this is fucking crazy stuff. I might have to give opposing force an S tier, as a matter of fact, which is wild. Better than the main game? Like what? Actually, no. I'll put it in A. I think opposing force, as good as it is just so short that like it doesn't leave like as much of an impression as the original campaign. But I had more fun playing the fucking DLC expansion than the base game. For some reason, like playing it was so smooth. I was never frustrated. There's like this new alien type called like Race X or something that I had a lot of fun fighting against because there's like this one that it dies like once you shoot the main alien. When it dies, like there's like this little blue bug that like jumps at you and shit. And just like these kind of creative enemy designs and these fun level designs. And it's like wild that this is the same team as Blue Shift because the level design is like so much fun. You could tell it's like even more linear than the base game, but it's kind of like a amusement park ride of just like interesting situations and um I there's just never a moment I wasn't enjoying myself. Even the final boss isn't that bad. Like it's nothing crazy, but it's not bad either. It's much better than Nihilinth or whatever the fuck. Um I don't know. I like Adrian Shepard. Excuse me, Adrian. What the fuck is up? I like Adrian Shepard more than I expected to. As a matter of fact, like when the Gmon, okay, when the G-Man locked him up at the end, I was kind of sad to hear that they scrapped a Half-Life 2 expansion with Adrian Shepard because like I feel like there's just more you can do with the character, although I doubt that he'll ever come back for sure. But honestly, the guns are so much fun. There's like a sniper rifle you get that is so satisfying. It's like the most satisfying gun in like Gold Source that I've ever played with. And you get this like fun, I don't know, these like laser guns, and you also get the barnacle thing with the tongue, which is crazy. You get to use it as like a grappling hook. It's kind of clunky, but it's just such a creative idea that I really fuck with it. And then a standout for me was this gun that you could use to like send people to Zen. You could shoot it at enemies and like send them to Zen, or you could shoot yourself and you get like teleported to like these random levels. And it was so fun. One time I shot myself at the portal when I was in Zen, and I was like sent to the like fucking training course that you do, and there was a one of those Vortigaunts like attacking a cardboard cutout of somebody, and it's just like this like really weird attention to detail that I wasn't expecting. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. I think it's like a 9 out of 10. If only it was a little bit longer, low key, like if it had more levels and there was just more to do with like the weapons that they give you, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10. It was just so perfectly paced. It was a lot of fun and the combat was so much fun. I think Half-Life 1's weakest overall aspect is just like the feel of its combat. But I was having a lot of fun playing opposing force, like almost as much as Half-Life 2, which is just crazy actually. But moving on to Half-Life Decay, I've played it, I haven't finished it, but I say it's decent. Like it's just like kind of fun. I actually think it's better than Blue Shift from what I've played. So I'm gonna just give it like a low B tier. Just sort of interesting. You play as like these two like scientist women, and yeah, it's just fun. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I've never played it co-op. I am going to with my brother, but I just kind of like teleported back and forth between the characters and just tried it out, and it was interesting. But moving on, I don't know why Team Fortress is on here, but low key, I never really cared that much about the first Team Fortress. I'm sure like for the time it's pretty cool, but like I was just kind of bored playing it. I just give it the C tier. Although like I'm sure it's like decent. It was just something that never interested me personally. Okay, this video is about to turn like 40 hours long, but Half-Life 2, I would say like combined with the episodes is probably the greatest game I've ever played, maybe next to Resident Evil 4. But I'm gonna give Half-Life 2 the easy S tier. I recently replayed it, and I was like I usually in the past 10 years that I've been playing Half-Life 2, I like never paid particular attention to the story. I never actually beat Half-Life 1 until like 4 or 5 years ago. So like over half the time I've played Half-Life 2, I never had the context of 1. Um, and I always loved this game. I bought it like a few times. I got it for my dad on the Xbox, like the orange box, and he really enjoyed it. And I loved playing it on the Xbox, which is actually kind of crazy because it's so PC focused. But for whatever reason, it was just kind of like cozy to play it on the 360. There's something about that orange box release on the 360, just very cozy and I don't know. The 360 was such a good era for games in general. Um, but yeah, recently, like I've never done a marathon of the Half-Life franchise, but playing Half-Life 1 and the expansion, so getting like all of the details about the story, and then heading into Half-Life 2, it makes the game so much more ambitious feeling. The fact that you go from this facility to the open world, and there's the Combine, which have completely taken over the world. Like there's this 20-year time skip, and the world is completely taken over, and there's this Neil Breen guy or whatever the fuck his name is, Wallace Breen, and he's just like this mouth guard, the spokesperson for the human race, and he says these like sort of philosophical speeches on the screens about like it was a good thing that we're collaborating with the Combine, and he's talking about how proud he is to be a collaborator, and it's just spectacular. Like Breen isn't really even that evil of a guy. Well, he's kind of up his own ass, and he's pretty unlikable, but like his reasons for siding with the aliens, the fact that it was either that or this just the complete eradication of the human race, like you kind of understand why he's choosing to do this. Um, the opening level, oh my fucking god, the opening level is so good where you get off the train and you just immediately hit with like this oppressive society, and all the citizens are being like slowly brainwashed and just becoming less of people because there's something in the water. Like these people, they're slowly having their entire resolves break, and they're getting abused by these like local cops who are also humans that are just getting paid in better meals and better living, so they just terrorize everybody else. And um like you step out of this facility and you immediately see the Citadel and just how like drab and awful things are for all the citizens. And it slowly ramps up where you start getting chased down by Metro cops, and eventually you finally meet up with Alex Vance and the rebellion or whatever the fuck it's called. And it's just so awesome. And there's these parts where you have to stand there and kind of just listen to people talk. But I was never bored, especially this time. I completely fell in love with the characters, especially Alex and Eli Vance. Just, dude, Eli Vance is such a good character. Like, oh my God. But you just fall in love with these characters, and they're not always with you, especially like earlier on in Half-Life 2. You're sort of alone, just making your way towards like the different rebel bases, and you know, because the teleporter breaks because of fucking what's his name, Dr. Kleiner's fucking head crab jumps into the portal and fucks it up, and it's like the I, bro. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. Like I just respect this game's aura, its ambition. You're running around fighting these street cops after like you meet up with Rebellion, trying to make your way to Black Mesa East or whatever, and you're just I don't know, just the perfect level design, perfect pacing. I absolutely love the song CP Violation, like Citizen Protection, and you're just I don't know, going through this world at such a perfect pace, and it's so much fun. Like the shooting isn't the best thing ever. Low key, the sound effects on the guns are weird. Like the SMG you use has like the loudest shooting sound ever. Like, I've always been annoyed at that, but other than that, like it's just fun because you're constantly being put in these different situations, and things are always evolving. Like the physics puzzles are crazy. Like fuck, I could talk about this all damn day. But like I even like the fucking airboat part where you're just driving around in this boat and getting shot at by like different people. I think that the pacing is great, and I don't know why, but I really enjoyed the boat, especially like this recent playthrough. I'm like, damn, this is like way more fun than like people say. I mean, people have really fallen in love with the entire game, especially like with the 20th anniversary update and stuff. Like everything that people criticized the vehicle sections about, I feel like have slowly kind of gone away. Um, but damn, like, is it not fun as fuck? And the sound design of this game, it's I mean, it's even with one, two, but the sound design of Half-Life 2 is just perfect. I can hear almost every single sound, like just on command in my head. It's so memorable, and I think part of that's also because of Gary's mod. I played a lot of Gary's mod, and like all those sound effects are in there too. But just like the weapon sounds, I mean, obviously I just complained that they were too loud, but I mean, just the sound effects, like the crossbow is so good, and the game never stops being fun. You go to Black Mesa East, you get to know more about these characters, and then you get the gravity gun, which might be like one of the greatest game design achievements like ever in history. And then you get to go to Ravenholm, which is like practically, oh my fucking god, like the best level, the best zombie level in any game ever. Just with the physics and Father Gregory and the vibes and the music and the fact that the zombies are just like these people that are suffering so fucking bad. Like you are basically mercy killing these people that are just crying to die and to make it stop. And it makes it so fucked up, like these head crabs and these crazy Zen aliens. And I think something that the game achieves so well, not only like obviously the pacing and the ambitious way that you're going from place in one take as like a journey, but also the feeling that you're kind of like retaliating, and you're rising up against such an oppressive, like unwinnable situation. You get stronger as the game goes on, and you start to rally up the troops in the different rebel bases. Um, and like, although I think that the final act of the game, after Nova Prospect, the final few levels aren't as good. Like they feel a little bit rushed. I mean, Nova Prospect and the sand traps part, and like the whole like car part on the coast are all really good levels. Like as good, if you know, as the rest of the game. But the Follow the Freeman chapter, where you're back in City 17, is a super sick concept, and I love every like place that the story goes. I do think that the levels feel a little bit rushed in the sense that like I don't know, the maps feel a little bit emptier, a little bit like less perfectly designed. I was texting my brother just glazing this game, and I was saying that like every single moment of this game feels like so handcrafted. Like everything, the entire game appeals to your sense of like humanity in a weird way, where everything that you want to react or interact with reacts perfectly to everything. Like the way the gravity gun works and the physics, and it's you get to do basically anything that you like think in your head. I want to do this with the physics, or like the game is genuinely like almost completely flawless in a way that like I've never seen replicated. Obviously I love the original Resident Evil 4 too, but that's for like completely different reasons. But just the achievements with the engine and the fucking physics. But yeah, I was bitching about the final few levels. I feel a little bit rushed. But I do have to say, I think it kicks back into gear in like the final like 30 minutes to the last hour, where you get this cutscene where like fucking Wallace Breen captures you, and he's like running for his life and runs to the teleporter, and you blow up the teleporter. And like it's a crazy cliffhanger, obviously, but I do like really enjoy that ending. I think that it's like heading straight into the Citadel is like a really great way to end it. Um, and I love the G-Man, how he pops up at the end. He goes, "Time, Mr. Freeman," or whatever the fuck. It's so good. Yeah, just like obviously I was just complaining about the final few levels. I think even those are fun, and you get to like really feel that like rebellion, like taking back. Um, I just think that like it feels a little bit less handcrafted. Although there's even parts in those levels that like feel just as good. Like I think I found it a little bit annoying having to shoot the Striders 6 times with rockets like over and over. Like it just got a little bit old with the rocket stuff. But otherwise, I think this game is complete perfection. I loved, pretty much every second. Would play again. I'll play it until the end of time. Incredible game. Incredible game. Yeah. Uh, so then we go on to Half-Life Episode 1. I played it in like almost one sitting at work yesterday, which is kind of crazy. But honestly, I think that episode 1 is better than I remembered. Because the only thing I really remembered about episode 1 is the like pretty slow beginning where you're like in the rubble of the explosion uh after the Citadel, and you just have to sit there as Alex is like talking to Dog and stuff. And I definitely think they could have quickened that a little bit, but once you're in the Citadel again, and you finally like do those puzzles with like the weird energy balls and stuff, and the whole concept of going back into the Citadel to prevent it from exploding so that the Combine can't get their portal back up to their home planet is pretty interesting. And I think when Alex finds like that data cube in the computer, and like and is trying to like run away with it, and the Combine spend like the entire episodes trying to track you down to, make sure you don't decipher that info. It's pretty cool. I think like the stakes of the story are set up well in episode 1. And you're introduced to like those hunters and like the weird fucking overseer monster, like potato monsters. It's pretty sick. And I think episode 1 actually gets better as it goes on, because after you get out of the Citadel, you get these like really cool parts, and almost pitch black with the zombies. And it says something pretty sick. She's like, "Flash your light on these zombies so I can shoot them." And I think there's like really cool interaction you get with Alex in episode 1. It's like I enjoyed her as a character in Half-Life 2, but and in this recent replay, like I never really cared that much about Alex actually, like for the longest time, but I was super locked in playing Half-Life 2 in the episodes recently, on this time around, and I just like Alex's character. Oh fuck, did my mic just break? God. Okay, I think I fixed it. Um, I just saw that it was in mono again. This mic is like really bad, but anyways, I really enjoyed Alex's character on this most recent replay. I was like paying attention to her interactions and her dialogue, and she's a great character. Honestly, I think that Valve did such an amazing job like endearing you to Alex's character in the episodes. Um, and like as dude, I absolutely love once you are in like the rubbles of City 17, and uh you got Dr. Kleiner on the TV being like, "Okay, the suppression field's over. You guys better start having sex again." And the vibe of like this post-apocalyptic ass feeling. I mean, the whole Half-Life 2 is post-apocalypse, but just this really like you get to see the Citadel and like this insane skybox. Just the stakes feel crazy, and you get these levels where the Combine are fighting the zombies like head to head, and also the fucking ant lions, like all these enemy factions at once. You got the rebels, the Combine, the sand lions, and the fucking or the ant lions, and the fucking zombies and like Zen head crabs and shit all fighting at the same time. You get these really awesome action set pieces actually. And it's like Half-Life Episode 1 is like on the shorter side, and maybe it didn't have as big of an impact as Half-Life 2 or Episode 2 and stuff. But I actually really fucking dug it, and all the different interactions you get, and it just sets up Episode 2 so perfectly. And actually I played Episode 2 entirely today. I just couldn't stop playing it. And I think that the context, because I never replayed episode one, not even on the orange box, because I just always assumed it was the boring one, like it was one where not much happens. And like although there isn't that much gameplay evolution, I still really fucked with it. So I'm gonna have to give it the A tier. Um, and so now we're on to episode two. And I don't know if this is crazy, but I think episode two, low key, is like the pinnacle of the entire franchise, or at the very least, very close to the pinnacle. Because not only do you get like the fucking buildup of episode one, and like the whole franchise feels like it's all come to this moment, right? Um, where, almost immediately Alex gets stabbed by a hunter, and you spend like the first third of the chapter, or like almost first half actually, just trying to revive her. But you immediately feel Alex's absence after, especially after playing episode one. Like the chapter, like the first third of episode two just feels so much more desolate, and you spend this time like underground in the antlions home base, and you're just kind of by yourself, like fighting for your life, and you just really feel that absence of other characters. But obviously eventually you regroup with the Vortigaunts, and you get this amazing fucking part where you're defending the Vortigaunt and like this like little base, underground base area from the antlions. And it's just such a great moment. Like it's scripted so well, it's paced so perfectly. And I've always loved like tower defense levels in games, and but like just perfect. And you get these two like quipping rebel characters that just have the most perfect dialogue for the situation. It enhances the moment. And I think episode two has the best use of music in the whole franchise, where every time a song is on, you know that moment is special. And obviously like the whole franchise has had that. But episode two is clearly the pinnacle of this, and also the pinnacle of like the level design and the gameplay design, because then you get to spend some time with a Vortigaunt, which was really fun. You get this kind of final motif of like this like weird cave fighting for your life thing. But then you get back with Alex, and you get this insane moment with the G-Man that is just so hype. And it's so scary because the G-Man suddenly now is kind of like realizing that Gordon is not someone he can control anymore. Because he's like falling in love with Alex and her father and these characters from the Black Mesa facility. It's like even though Gordon doesn't say a single word, the G-Man and all these other characters reflect like this sort of character arc where Gordon goes from this like pretty brilliant scientist to, in Half-Life 2, he's like the second coming of Christ. And you get these moments with the rebels where they're like, "Oh, Gordon, thank God you're here." But in the episodes, I think spending time with Alex like changes his character like so much. Like I don't know. I think the way that Valve used Alex alongside Gordon in these episodes is like one of the greatest things they've ever achieved. Like especially in like character writing and dialogue. It's fascinating. It's amazing, and I don't know. I just love the way they handled it. And eventually you kind of stumble through like the outskirts, and you never really get like this much time kind of like in the wilderness, sort of like in the forest, and you get this feeling that like the Combine are stranded, and like they're trying to like regroup with their home planet with like the teleporter, but like as of right now they're stranded and they're desperate, and that feeling of just like coming back, like retaliating, feels so good, especially like after playing the series from the start this past month. Like you always feel like you're in over your head, but in episode two especially, you finally feel like you're taking things back into your own hands, and you get the best vehicle level of the entire franchise with that car, and you're just spending time with Alex like in these crazy like really fun set piece moments. Like you get these overseer potatoes like threatening you, and you also like fight these hunters in the wilderness, and there's like this really cool part where you're kind of getting shot down in this house, and you're stuck in this house. Just these amazing set piece moments. You get these parts that like these games love these sniper sections, but episode 2 has like these really fun sniper sections, and like parts where you're fighting these Combine holdouts, and just so cool. And you get introduced to Magnuson, which is also such a fun character. You eventually get to like the not the White Sands, the White Forest base. I think honestly might be like the most heartwarming I've ever felt, like in almost any game with these characters. Like you're sitting there listening to like these characters regroup after a long time of not seeing each other, and like I wanted it to be longer. I just wanted to sit there and hang out with these characters because they're so well written, especially at this point. The dialogue is so fucking insanely good. Really never experienced anything like this. Like just being there in the moment, like I was so immersed and like I was like nodding the in-game character's head, like responding to people. Like I don't know, I just rarely feel this immersed in like a kind of a scripted sequence and God, is it just special? Like that Half-Life 2 Episode 2 is so special. Um, and like you meet Magnuson and you regroup with Eli, and Eli says, like this old guy and his unforeseen consequence. Just beautiful. God, like Eli Vance is such a good fucking character, like incredible character. Um, and obviously it makes it all the more heartbreaking when he dies eventually. But you get this before that, you get this final set piece where you're driving around in the car and you're shooting at Striders with these Magnuson devices. I think honestly is a highlight of the entire franchise. Not only the franchise, but like games in general. Just so much fucking fun. And it's like rather simple, where you got these like house outposts and you're just like driving around like fighting off these hunters, but so good. The vibes are perfect, and there's like a lot of tension because you're trying to get this rocket launch before the Combine attack. And you get this really fun part also before where the Combine are like breaking into the facility. Just such great set pieces. Like maybe the best pacing of the franchise. And like again, it's shorter, so like I maybe it's not as good as the main campaign, but I do think it's kind of the pinnacle, and it feels like the true ending to Half-Life 2. You get this really tragic death cliffhanger at the end, and I was tearing up today, like playing it. Like you just fall in love with this character so much, even though I knew what was gonna happen. Uh, it still broke my heart. Like the scene is so perfectly acted by Alex's voice actress, and yeah, so yeah, Easy S, like maybe one of the greatest experiences. Half-Life 2 and Episode 2, and even Episode 1, honestly maybe like one of the greatest media experiences that you can have. And like I don't say that lightly. I've played a lot of games, like probably close to 1,000 video games in my time, because I have no fucking life. And I gotta say, I think this is just one of the greatest gaming experiences you can have. So could you go to Half-Life Deathmatch? I guess I haven't really played this that much, so I'm gonna just give it the C on principle. Although like maybe it's better or worse for people with like experiences with it. And I would say the same for Lost Coast. The level's fun. It's cool to see the commentary for Lost Coast, but it just really isn't anything that crazy. It's cool that they put like a cut level back in. You get like a few memorable shootouts. But yeah, nothing too wild. So now we got two fan games. Um, Starting off with Black Mesa, I played Black Mesa a few years ago, my freshman year of college, and I had a lot of fun with it. I enjoyed it a lot. I like the modern gunplay. It's like a huge improvement from the original Half-Life 1, at least like the base game. And it's cute. I don't know if how much I love the art style. I don't know. It feels a little bit like I don't know, just less appealing on the eyes. Like the voice acting is clearly very like amateur. I like it. I think it probably is better in a lot of ways to the original Half-Life 1. But I think the interloper chapter in the Zen, I think the opening Zen level is fucking fantastic. It's like much better than the original Half-Life 1. But then you get to Interloper, and Interloper doesn't start terrible per se. Just a lot of plug puzzles. Like this game is obsessed with plug puzzles. Like they wanted to do something with the new physics in Half-Life 1, and which is cool. But I don't know. I think just way too many plug puzzles. I think Interloper might be like one of the worst chapters I've experienced in like a game in like recent memory. Just goes on and it feels kind of aimless and just not that fun. I think it almost kind of ruins the pace of the game. And I think the rest of Black Mesa is fantastic. but I do think Interloper kind of brings the entire game down. It really has killed my desire for replay. But I do have to say, like in a lot of ways, it is a superior game. I'm just gonna have to give it like a low A, maybe high B. I'll just give it a low A. I think it's probably the best mod, the best fan mod ever made for sure, and that's like a pretty astounding achievement. So yeah, I'd give it an A just on principle of like the fact that it's like the blood, sweat, and tear of fans. So anyways, on to Hunt Down the Freeman. Oh my fucking god, dude. I was trying to play this earlier today, and Jesus fucking Christ. It's so bad. I was playing the launch build. I've heard it's better now, although like I do not care enough to play it. It's got some of the funniest cutscenes, at least so far. I got around to the part where Killer Keemstar is going, "Attention, my fellow Americans!" Like it's just so fucking crazy, absolutely insane. Yeah, I gotta say this, and the fact that the game doesn't teach you how to use the prone or I don't know, like I just got stuck in this horrible dialogue where immediately Gordon Freeman like kills this guy, and he has like a mask on. So I learned on the internet that that's not even Gordon Freeman, and then he's like, "I'm going to fucking kill you," and then fucking G-Man goes like, "You and Black Mesa, you survived Black Mesa." It's so bad. Yeah, I don't know. All the maps you just kind of like run around. You have to run past the enemies. There's lots of parts where it's like endless enemies, and then you just have to like run past them. The loading is terrible. All the voice acting is so bad. I love that like all these like 2016 YouTubers are voice actors. Yeah, I would. Yeah, definitely. Like I'd say F. It's probably one of the worst things I've ever played. And I only got like a third into it. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it anymore. And I don't think anyone's gonna blame me. It's like you just have to see it to believe it. You fucked up my face. Like there's lots of funny stuff, but yeah, it's not worth playing. It's absolutely abysmal. There's just so many parts that like make no sense. Like the map design is incredibly bad. It's horrible. It's horrible, horrible. And okay, on a lighter note, Half-Life Alex, easy fucking S tier, bro. Which is kind of wild. For like a sort of a VR tech demo. I waited almost 6 years to play it. Just because I never had a PC VR, but I borrowed my brother's Oculus, and I think, oh my God, Alex is by far the greatest VR game ever made. I think that the amount of like aura, like the fucking vibes of it, how immersive it is, just the fact that you're in the world is so incredibly immersive, and you get the classic Valve like level design of just like introducing you to new things and like slowly elaborating. And the game innovates so much. There were maybe some parts I didn't enjoy, like how many puzzles there were with like this orb. But honestly, I fucked with the level progression. I fucked with like finding the like resins. Like it made the game so incredibly immersive. The fact that you had to like scrounge through the levels to find upgrade material, I think is maybe like one of the most ingenious like design decisions in any VR game, if not like the most genius design decision. The fact, like, just how like manipulatable the world is with the gravity gloves and oh my God, the way that the fucking Combine are so oppressive in virtual reality. They just the sound design. I mean, all these games have incredible sound design, but when like that music, like that like crazy music starts pumping with those drums, and you got the Combine shooting you down, and you're just stuck like there as like you feel so grounded in the level. It's incredible. Oh God, just the level design, it's so stripped back, but like they get to put so much detail into every single room, because like the levels are smaller. Like obviously like the story doesn't progress like a crazy amount, but I think the world building of like this quarantine zone and the different Combine officers and just the gunplay, like the pistol feels so good. It feels like surgical. Like these little like I don't know how to describe it, but the guns are simple, but they work perfectly. All of like the different like just little set piece moments when and it's kind of like a genuinely like the only Half-Life full-length game that sort of even gets better as it goes on. Like you have this zoo level, which is just so much fun. Oh, the zoo level's so good. Um, you get these levels where like the Combine are like tracking you down in these apartments and like getting this oppressive fire on you. And you get introduced to all these new like zombie types, and you have this Zen electricity bug that like re-inhabits enemies and shit. Like just amazing moments. It's incredible. And like it's almost underrated. With just the amount of interactivity. Maybe I honestly I think the dialogue might be a little bit of a step down from the episodes, or like it's good, but like and like there's like some like good stuff to chew on, and I think the Vortigaunts are really fun in this game. Um, yeah, but yeah, like maybe like I think Russell might not be as good as like a Dr. Kleiner, but I still really enjoyed it, and I think it makes sense why they have like this like Marvel-esque dialogue. Because when you're walking through these levels of just like these just dead humans everywhere, these like dead people and zombies, and it's almost like a horror game in a sense. Like it feels a lot like Ravenholm Extended, where you're just there with these like creepy ass zombies, especially like in the earlier levels. um, wow, like there's almost nothing bad I can say about this game. I find like pretty much every moment to be spectacular, and like just these really simple progression systems that make the game like unique to itself, and Alex as a character is fun to play as. Um, like maybe there could be even more combat, but like I don't even know because the pacing is just on point, and having it be more like moment to moment, like simple puzzle solving and shit, just like putting you in that world is incredible. So I gotta say I think Half-Life Alex is an astounding achievement for video games. Not also like the greatest VR game ever made. I love Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, but like Alex, there's just something undoubtable about the presence you feel and the way the guns feel. I didn't even mention the Jeff level, which is just like an incredible achievement. Having this like horror level with an enemy that can't see you, just hear you. So the way that you interact with the environment changes because you make sound when you touch things. So you're like going slow, and it's genuinely genius. It's incredible. And the fact that it took 13 years to get back to this franchise is just so tragic. That we could have gotten even more games like this is just amazing. Um, and that ending is undoubtedly fucking astounding with the G-Man changing the cliffhanger of episode 2. And it's like honestly, I mean, you could think it's like kind of like a fake out death, but I don't know, I fuck with it so much it feels earned. Like you really spend that whole game building up to this fucking crazy combine fucking like prison thing. I don't even know what to call it. Like it's kind of like the Citadel of Half-Life 2 that you see like throughout the whole game. Just this insane it's called the vault, that's my bad. You head into this vault, and the G-Man's waiting inside. You think it's Gordon. And at this point, I mean the Vortigaunts must have spoken about Gordon as like this like god that is destined to return, and like people already speak of Gordon as legend. Um but yeah, and I also think, sorry, I'm like crazy right now, but to go back to my concept of like feeling like you're small in the world, Half-Life Alex is like in the midst of this combine society, so you feel really fucking like oppressed, and you're like in these small areas in this quarantine zone, like outside of the main city. But the things that you do see of the main city, I mean, there's just no human life. Like it is completely taken over. It's kind of more of what you see in the beginning of Half-Life 2. And yeah, just this feeling of this alien oppression, not only of the Combine, but also just of the Zen, the fucking head crabs and shit, like all these crazy zombies. Just incredible stuff. Yeah, that G-Man ending is fucking awesome. It just wow, just amazing, and you get to be as Gordon Freeman in the final moments, and it's that motherfucker and his unforeseen consequences, just fucking impeccable. And I am so excited. I've been following the development of Half-Life 3 for like almost 2 years, since August of 2024 with the Tyler McVicker drop, and I am incredibly excited. I think like from what I've seen, like these simulation like advancements in the gameplay just seem really exciting. This like what they're doing with like the physics in the Zen world is cool. I am so excited for Half-Life 3, and I uh I hope to see it soon. I mean, who knows, it could be years from now. And it could also be canceled. Who fucking knows? But just I'm just so excited, especially on this most recent replay of all the games. I think that Alex proved that there's still so much talent, so much life in the studio, so much creativity. It felt like the developers were just itching to create something. It just feels it's so triumphant and just so jam-packed. So Alex has given me a lot of faith that whatever they are making with Half-Life 3, that it's going to be just as good as the other games, and I'm incredibly fucking excited. So as you know, I'm a glazer. I mean, without a doubt, I be glazing this shit. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and like I gotta stop myself before I say even more because I could just go on forever. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys have a great night. Peace out. Retro Raider out, dude. Let's go.